So, hello everyone, and welcome back to your online class, everyone. And how have you been this morning? You know that teacher just hope that everyone will enjoy your class, okay? And also you participate to do your classwork and homework as well. So, the importance of this online class, a bit different between the in the reality classroom, but everything resourceful and helpful for you in case that you are able to answer the question, or you can ask any question to your teacher. So to get started with our lesson today, in the first section you will study about the energy in algae. So on page 48 and 49, everyone. So before moving that, teacher would like you to go back to the lesson that you have learned yesterday, everyone. So yesterday you have learned some introduction to the way that people can get energy from the nature. So somehow in our lesson we going to describe or the report, agriculture report from the VOA special English program about the you know the scientists, they are looking for like algae to create the energy, and not only type of plant that can make the energy, but some energy can make it by the dynamos and generator, can be electricity from the steam, like hydroelectricities or falling waters. And somehow that you know that like solar power, the energy from the sunshine, it it help the human to to use the energy. And in this way we have learned some the vocabulary that it go deep into our text. So the word that you have learned, like the word organism, they include all any part of the living thing, so we call the organisms. And kelp mean a kind of very large seaweed, okay. And dense mean the crowded together or thick. Sewage, waste water from the building. And biofuel mean the fuel made from the living planet, not fossil fuel, okay. And you have already practiced with this listening. You just fill in the gap, okay. So moving to our lesson today on page 48 and 49, everyone. So are you there? Okay, to begin with this, you are going to answer the comprehension question on page 48. Okay, we have 3 questions, and then you will go to page 49 about the focus on the sound. So the sound that you are going to study today is about letter B. Okay. So let's check the question here. The one you see, like, which of the following is not mentioned as the reason for large algae blooms? And what does the blue mobile energy use to make algae into fuel? And why do some scientists, disagree with collecting algae? So in these 3 questions, it will reflect to these different 3 categories here. Like the first one, they just mentioned about how algae grow and how is it important. And this is about the process of the company, how to make the algae into the fuel or biofuel. And the last one about the scientist's opinion. They mean that they study about the impact of collecting algae. So what the problem that hit to the environment, okay. So without further ado, teacher would like you to see that the text again and answer the question. Okay, everyone, do you see here? Like this is the report like this called like looking for energy in algae. Okay, this is a Sept company harvest white, algal bloom in search of natural gas and biochemical. This is the transcript from radio pod, broadcast from the VOA Special English programs. So, the search for new fuel has led some researcher to algae. So, the researcher proposed to use algae to, as a fuel. So, algae is named of thousands of different organisms. They include single cell plants as well as carp and other large plants. So algae not only one single plant everyone, it the mix together plant. So that's why they said the word carp here. Kenneth Bruland is an ocean scientist professor at the Universities of California, Santa Cruz. He said that many experts also consider plants like bacteria to be a form of algae. These bacteria, make food from the sun like plant do. Okay. So algae, grow quickly and some contain a lot of oils. Most of our algae to energy researchers are, growing algae in huge tanks. But one company, Blue Mobile Energies in Seattle, Washington, use algae already growing along coastline. So workers pump it into bake on a boat. They have to be careful not to suck up young fish or other small creature. So do you believe that when they collect, the algae, and even they say that they are careful with the young fish, but do you believe that to be like collecting like that, it can destroy some the fish home or not? You will see another expert idea they mentioned. So Blue Mobile say it is, its work could help prevent harmful algae blooms. A bloom is when a dense area of algae form and spread. Some bloom can be can harm people, animal, and environment. But the Blue Mobile company they just mentioned that the form of blooms of algae can harm people. So they just mentioned about the effect of algae to the human or to the animal and environment. So warmer water can cause blooms, and some scientists think global warming is adding an increase in large one. Nutrient from sewage, and agricultural fertilizer also help algae grow. So what is that? Nutrient, just okay. Just searching, just wait. Just a substance that provides like nourishment essential for growth and maintenance of life. Okay, what about this one, everyone? If you are not so sure, just do like this. Oh, sewage. Okay, wastewater and extreme convey in server. Okay. So Blue Marble is a startup company with a private investor. It also has a contract. The contract we mean the two agreement from the two side or two party. We call contract. Okay. And with Washington State to collect algae called over or the sea, lactose in part of Central, Puget Sound waterway. In Puget Sound, big, bloom of the sea lactose often break down in Domas Bay. The process of, rotting use up oxygen and kill marine life. And when the sea lactose wash off the beach, it smell terrible. Uh-huh. So the first, they just mentioned about the algae. When they collect them, they just careful not to harm the young fish. But and then when they start up the company, they also mention like when they clean up, the lactose. When they wash, it smell terrible, smell not good. Routine is something that is, like this. A death can be a death. So Blue Mobile President Kelly O'Galby said that his company has collected almost 4,000 kilos of algae in 2 harvests. The next step is to use bacteria to break down the algae into natural gas and different chemical. Most companies doing algae to energy research are creating liquid biofuel for car or airplanes. But some people have concern about harvesting white algae. University of Washington researcher Calvin Britton Simon say removing the algae does not solve the problem. Uh-huh. Mm, he said that keeping fertilizer and other pollutant out of you know the waters would prevent a lot of unnatural blooms. He also said that it is difficult to tell the difference between natural algae blooms and those caused by human activity. He said that removing natural blooms would remove valuable food for marine life. So meaning that any life under the waters, they depend on the like those bloom or those algae to like eating. Okay, so when they clean it up, so how can the life in the sea survives? Okay, so this is all about the report from the VOA Special English program, everyone. So now teacher would like you to go back to your lesson here, Ron. Okay, so now teacher would like you to listen this again and then answer the question. Please get started, everyone.
Chapter 3 Science Unit 11 Energy in Algae.
Looking for energy in algae. This is the VOA Special English Agriculture Report. The search for new fuels has led some researchers to algae. Algae is a name for thousands of different organisms. They include single-celled plants as well as kelp and other large plants. Kenneth Bruland is an ocean sciences professor at the University of California, Santa Cruz. He says many experts also consider plant-like bacteria to be a form of algae. These bacteria make food from the sun like plants do. Algae grow quickly, and some contain a lot of oils. Most algae-to-energy researchers are growing algae in huge tanks. But one company, Blue Marble Energy in Seattle, Washington, uses algae already growing along coastlines. Workers pump it into bags on a boat. They have to be careful not to suck up young fish or other small creatures. Blue Marble says its work could help prevent harmful algae blooms. A bloom is when a dense area of algae forms and spreads. Some blooms can harm people, animals, or the environment. Warmer water can cause blooms, and some scientists think global warming is adding to an increase in large ones. Nutrients from sewage and agricultural fertilizers also help algae grow. Blue Marble is a startup company with private investors. It also has a contract with Washington State to collect the algae called ulva, or sea lettuce, in parts of Seattle's Puget Sound waterway. In Puget Sound, big blooms of sea lettuce often break down in Dumas Bay. This process of rotting uses up oxygen and kills marine life. And when the sea lettuce washes up on the beach, it smells terrible. Blue Marble President Kelly Ogilvie says his company has collected almost 4,000 kilos of algae in 2 harvests. The next step is to use bacteria to break down the algae into natural gas and different chemicals. Most companies doing algae-to-energy research are creating liquid biofuels for cars or airplanes. But some people have concerns about harvesting wild algae. University of Washington researcher Kevin Britton Simmons says removing the algae does not solve the problem. He says keeping fertilizer and other pollutants out of the water would prevent a lot of unnatural blooms. He also says it is difficult to tell the difference between natural algae blooms and those caused by human activity. He says removing natural blooms would remove valuable food for marine life. And that's the VOA Special English Agriculture Report.
Okay, everyone. So now can you answer the question? So reflect to the question number 1. Letter A, like fertilizer for agriculture. B, like sewage, from cities. C, global warming, and D, bacteria in the waterways. Okay, so the right answer is letter D. Okay, bacteria in the waterway. Okay, not mentioned in the text here. So number 2, what does Blue Marble Energy use to make algae into fuel? So we have like lactose, sewage, small fish, and bacteria. So the right answer is letter D, bacteria. Okay, because of they use bacteria in order to break down the algae into gas. Okay, into fuel. So number 3 here, letter C. Why do some scientists disagree with collecting algae? Because of removing algae can make food away from ocean life. Okay. So now we move to our next lesson here. Everyone, like listen to the sentence twice and fill in the blank. So you see here, and we focus on the sound B, everyone. Okay, so are you ready to start your listening, everyone? Please start.
Number 1. These bacteria make food from the sun like plants do. These bacteria make food from the sun like plants do. Number 2. Most companies doing algae-to-energy research are creating liquid biofuels. Most companies doing algae-to-energy research are creating liquid biofuels. Number 3. Blue Marble says its work could help prevent harmful algae blooms. Blue Marble says its work could help prevent harmful algae blooms. Number 4. Workers pump it into bags on a boat. Workers pump it into bags on a boat.
Okay, so let's check the answer. So before checking that, teacher would like you to see what is the sound letter B, like blue, like global, and break. So B just sound like B. Okay, so like B, it is sound made from the vocal cord and the lip. And close your mouth so that your top and the bottom lip are tightened and pressed together. but do not let your top and bottom teeth touch, and quickly separate your lip like b. Okay. So what do you hear for the first one? The first one we have the word like bacteria. Number two, the word biofuel. Number three, a bloom, and number four, bake and boat. Okay. So everyone, so now it came to the end of your lesson today, everyone. So what you have learned today is about the report with the VOA Special English program. Is about the Greek culture that they use algae to make the algae from the marble company, and sound with sound letter B. Okay. So now see you again in the second section, everyone. Goodbye.